perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you?
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge?
I am the acting director, yes. The Institute.
But... director?
I was the most qualified for the position. I've lived my life within these walls. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to... The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthrough. I've been a part of something amazing here. And now, after all the...
Right. You want me to stay here in the Institute?
Yes. That is what the Institute can provide. You've been in the Commonwealth.
How can you say that?
Because it is the simple truth. I simply ask that you give the Institute. We really do have you. Will you take that chance?
sure you want this?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. And finally, Dr. Lee in...
About this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating...
It seems like a...
I can understand how it might seem that way. It was. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an up... But I'll admit I'm curious.
Right?
Do you think you could love him?
Seriously?
That's a difficult question. Yours is a unique position. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but...
As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards.
Doctor?
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so... If you don't mind my asking...
I wanted to kill the son of a bitch who murdered my husband.
Kellogg always was a cold bastard. If you ask me, now. I'll give you a quick rundown of the facility's division. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycle. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the others. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that...
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least...
Right.
If there's anything else you'd like to know about...
Who built this place, originally?
The construction of the Institute is the work... The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge...
Sure.
Over time, their sons and daughters dug deep. It's a process that's still going on today. Just think what this place will look like 100...
Allie,
Hi there. Something I can help you with?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watt. He coordinates with bio. We also make use of a number of synth units for low...
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
What can I requisition?
I have access to a modest selection of...
I'll take a look, sure.
Our technology must improve fast. We don't usually recognize.
It's a clean floor. Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
My apologies, sir. I was issued a defective cleansing unit.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Yes, sir. Greetings, ma'am.
The rest see me as little more than a glorified repairman. But I'm as much a scientist as any of them.
Hi, Doc.
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
If that's how you feel, why not?
Because we could do so much more. But no, it's wasted potential. In any case, perhaps a fresh
Lawrence.
Spend enough time here, and you'll be sick to death of the word synth. I certainly am.